damn okay. Damn. Okay, Kyler. Oh, we got to keep him in the pocket. Damn. Okay. Dalvin Cook's back. He deserves a damn okay. Zac Taylor deserves a damn okay, Zach. I see you. I'm moving up the charts, baby. Damn, okay. I got Paulie Burmeister here today.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you? Good to see you.
I think we got something there with a damn okay.
Damn okay. Yeah. I mean, you know how that goes, right? I mean, at least that's like I was saying. That's like you used to say in the locker room when someone surprised you. Like, damn, okay. He can play a little bit. I like that.
Works well.
I don't know what that T-shirt is. I like it.
Thank you.
And more importantly, I like your sneakers.
Oh, these the old school Nikes
with the purple swoosh there.
Yeah.
I peeped them. I wanted to wait till the show started before I gave you some credit. So there's your credit.
Thank you.
Okay?
I ordered them right away.
Right.
This summer and expected to see them everywhere.
Yep.
I've not seen any. So maybe we could be matchy someday.
Okay, maybe not. I'll wear some Nike sneakers with you, but we'll draw the line there, okay?
Right, cool.
Either way, we got a good podcast coming today.
Yes, real games.
It's real games, film review podcast. Going to do a deep dive on a number of games coming up, okay? First off, please rate and review the podcast. And if you review the podcast, put a question in there. More than likely, we will get to it sometime here in the next few weeks and answer these questions for you guys, okay? But here's the games we got coming today. Falcons-Vikings, full game film. Eagles-Redskins, full game film. Cowboys offense only versus Giants defense. Patriots versus Steelers, full game film. Bills and Jets, full game film. And then I wanted to see the Ravens offense and that debacle of a performance by the Dolphins D, and the Bengals offense versus the Seahawks D. That's what we got coming for a deep dive. We got the big on today.
Yes.
He'll be in about 15 minutes. Also, if anybody's wondering, why aren't we doing the Cleveland Browns and Tennessee Titans? Why aren't we doing the Chiefs and Jacksonville? I did the film deep dive on Monday. You can go check that out on YouTube/NBC Sports if you want to check that out. But I've already broken that down. That's going to be kind of the routine going forward. Monday, I'll try to break down one or two games. The biggest games, probably going to put it out to Twitter like we did this past week. You tell me the games you want to know about first, and hopefully I answer some questions there. Now, let's get to the podcast. More importantly, I wanted to ask you this, very important. All right, I got my man Jonald McDonald behind today. He's looking really cool.
Wandering from camera to camera.
Don't you like that? His name's John McDonald. I think Jonald McDonald sounds better, right?
Perfect.
Do you pee standing up or sitting down when you're at home?
Standing up.
You do?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that? I don't even understand that. I sit down. I mean, standing's harder. I mean, I'd rather sit and take a pee. When I'm at home and I know it's a clean toilet, I am sitting down. Yeah,
when you have to pee, you walk in and sit down.
I do, especially in the middle of the night when it's dark. I mean, you know, I just don't know where it might be going.
I've never heard of it.
Never thought of it?
No.
Damn.
You serious?
I'm dead serious.
This isn't like a setup or something else?
No. I know it sounds like a setup. John, do you pee sitting down at all when you're at home? When he's tired. When he's tired, see? I do it all the time at home, so feel free to comment on that as you rate and review the podcast.
There's no way dudes do that.
Yes, they do. They do it. I've been asking.
Where'd you even think of that, as an idea?
Because I do it, and I was like, I wonder how many dudes actually do this, right? So, I mean, we could ask if he does this too. I'll ask him.
Are you okay talking to that?
I mean, I am okay.
Dad?
I'm good. Yeah, he'll live.
This is weird.
He knows he's good. That's why I wanted to start
Guys don't sit down and pee.
They do here. It's clean. There's no splash effect. You know, there's nothing on this seat. I like that aspect of it as a germ freak. Now,
my wife would appreciate it because it's me and our two sons.
Yeah, so guys are gross, and there's spray
it's
everywhere.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I can blame it on those two.
Right, yes. Yeah, that's right. That's them, honey. I'm experienced. I know where to aim. All right, I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Feel free to comment on that as you listen to the podcast. Anybody out there, okay?
Please do. Yeah.
Now, I mean, if that's not a segue to film review.
Do you sit down to watch film or stand up?
I do. I sit down to watch film, too. I'm a double threat guy. I might sit down on the toilet and watch film. I mean, that's how big I am that way. But all right, so let's start it off.
Yep.
Falcons-Vikings, first game we're going to break down here.
We're going Falcons offense, Vikings D first.
Yep. All right. Anything? You got my notes. So
I did get your notes.
Yes, and I know it's script and you can't read everything I write, but
nobody sits and pees as a guy. Nobody writes in cursive anymore but you.
Me. Well,
nobody.
You knew I was screwed up, and apparently I'm more screwed up than you thought.
So I did go through your notes.
Yes.
Let's start out with the positive Minnesota defense. I think they earned that.
Right.
Before we hit the Falcons offense, you wrote down Minnesota defense changing up coverages more than they ever have.
Right.
It's still Zim's defense.
Yes.
It's not like they went through a major makeover. So
right.
What was different?
Well, they didn't need a major makeover. They just needed a few wrinkles. And this has been an issue with me with Zimmer a little bit. You know, he's got that double A gap, right? We stand two people up right next to the center. You don't know who's going to blitz, who's going to come out. They both might come out. But predominantly, Zimmer has always been kind of like a cover three. You know, they press their outside corners, but they're really playing cover three with an occasional man-to-man defense. And that's really all they do for the most part. This game, though, they varied some things up for the first time, or at least more than I can remember any time here in the recent past.
Was it a variety or difficult to read and like changing at the snap?
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily like greatest disguises in the world, but it was just variety to where, of course, Atlanta had a whole offseason to game plan for a game, and I think they got into a few third downs and second and long situations where I'm sure they got up and go, oh, we got the play called up because we got 100 snaps of them doing this one defense last year in these situations. And Zimmer changed it up, whether it was playing quarters or quarter, half, or doing things like that. Not that they needed a big change, but I do think they were a hair predictable, and that was encouraging to see from the Vikings defense, without a doubt.
Do you think that threw Matt Ryan, or did it throw the offensive line? Like, who did it affect?
I think it affected the offensive line a little bit because they got caught off guard, I think, by a few just little different blitzes that Minnesota doesn't usually do. I think that caught them, like little stunts and, a nickel guy off the edge that they might not do. And then I really just think it threw them off for their game planning, like, oh, okay, on 3rd and 8+, we have all these plays we like to because this is the coverage they normally play. And then they came out and didn't play those coverages, so now you go, damn, all these 3rd and 8+ plays that I had for my game plan, a lot of them, oops, scratch it off, it's not good, scratch it off, it's not good. So that's where the beauty of changing things up in week one, and I hope that continues because that has been an issue along with Minnesota defense for me the last few years. A little predictable and a little bit thin on the defensive side of the ball because they're top heavy. They got a lot of stars, and that was really my big issue with them. So that was good to see for sure as a positive by the Minnesota Vikings.
And their positives, Chris, seem to bring to light, and I'm interpreting your notes
please do.
along with what I saw in the game.
Right.
But it really brought to light the concerns that you voiced all spring and all summer about the Falcons' offensive line.
Yes.
Seemed like they came to light and stood up, unfortunately.
It did. Almost from the get-go, from the first play of the game. I mean, it was like jailbreak right in the face of Matt Ryan. Oh, gosh, here we go. It's the same thing we saw in the Jets preseason game, the Redskins preseason game, unable to protect him, and a big issue for this team going forward. It's scary. And then they lost their first-round guard in Lindstrom. He's going to be out for the year with a broken foot. And so that really scares me in general because it's reared its ugly head way too many times. And that along with, I'll tell you another thing that bothers me, is their run game. Their run game, I think, has some possibilities. I'm not sure they have a runner that can really capitalize off the run game.
Which was the surprising part of that because you think healthy Devonta Freeman, and it shouldn't be an issue.
Nah, I know,
and
I thought so too. I mean, I thought, Devonta Freeman, we're going to get to see him back healthy. This will add a little
speed
jolt.
Not there, cut's not there.
Burst is not there. Now, again, it's early, and I know he's coming back from a year where he was banged up a lot, and maybe that changes. But I just thought there was a few runs where I went, ooh. The old Devonta Freeman, I would have known, would have broke through that arm tackle or would have just split that seam with his pure speed and explosiveness and would have got a 10-yard gain. Instead, he got a 3-yard gain. I just thought there was a number of runs like that. And then, they have Ito Smith who comes in after that. And speed is not his forte either. He's a little more of a shifty guy, good player, but I don't know if either one of those guys is going to be able to maximize what they want to do, as far as the run game is concerned. Right.
And I want to follow up with one question. I wrote this down, and this is exactly what you wrote down about the Atlanta offensive line. You said they're going to have to be very creative to cover up this issue.
Yes.
Give me an example or two of how an offensive line can be creative to mask some problems.
Right. I mean, I think the first thing is creative run game schemes, right? Little things like, hey, the run game can slow down a pass rush. Toss cracks, toss sweeps, right? You got a bunch on the right. All the bunch blocks down. A guard pulls out. Now the defense end, every time he sees that formation going forward, he goes, damn, that guy crushed me the last time. I got to worry about that so he doesn't just fly off the ball. Wide receiver screens. I mean, just like you see New England do anytime they play a great pass rusher. Oh, yeah, fly upfield and come get me. I'm Tom Brady. Zoom, there's Julian Edelman, and they get 10 yards. Little things like that. Run game, play action screens to the running back. Those are other ways I look at it because you play action, okay, now here we come, we're going to come get Matt Ryan. Oh, boop, there's Devonta Freeman, or there's the tight end. Those are things that are going to slow down the verocity, the ferociousness.
Velocity?
Yes, veracity, is that a word? I don't even know. It sounded good coming out of my mouth. But those are things that you can do to slow down just a defensive line like the Vikings who are just upfield, aggressive as hell.
Other side of this matchup, Minnesota offense, and this is one of the, if I have questions like after the score,
right,
like the story below the fold, which is, you're talking about newspapers and headlines. I don't know if people understand that, but like the second story after one team goes 1-0, one goes 1-1 with this game. How do the Vikings have a run-to-pass ratio of more than 3-1?
Right.
And throw for less than 100 yards?
It's amazing.
Never happens in the NFL.
No, it's so rare that happens. You're right.
And win by double digits.
It has to be a special set of circumstances. And in this case, it was we blocked a punt after the Falcons' first drive that gave us the ball at the 20-yard line. Then we ran a ball in and scored a touchdown. And then on the next drive, Matt Ryan threw an interception down the middle in double coverage, basically. But he had pressure in his face, and this is what pressure does. He doesn't know what to do. He's trying to get the ball in hands. Oh, there's Julio Jones. He's usually my get-out-of-jail-free card.
Right.
Oh, well, shit, they know that too, so they were all over him. That set up another short field for a touchdown. So there's those two alone, just lend the game, right? We're up 14-0. They just never had to push the envelope in the pass game. And the little 33, he can fly. He's back. Watch out for Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
The way he looked in that game, first off, the O-line for the Vikings gives them a chance this year, along with Gary Kubiak, and they're focused on the run game and all that stuff. But when there was nothing there and the play was designed to go for a run up the middle, man, Dalvin Cook's ability to kind of jump cut, shuffle, right? He stays square to the line of scrimmage, and then, okay, there was no hole there. I'm at the tackle. Let me just bounce it outside and go now. He's 0 to 60 in 0.006 seconds.
Did you notice it even more because Freeman kind of let you down a little bit?
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. And I started on that side of the ball. I started with Falcons overs Vikings D, because then you go back to the other side and you turn the game on and you go, damn, that running back looks like he's in fast forward. And yes, that's the difference between a really elite running back, which I think Dalvin Cook is going to be on the verge of being that kind of guy this year. Now, do I have questions about the Falcons' pass game still? And certainly I do. But like you said, they never really had to get in it.
Talking about the Vikings.
The Vikings pass game, sorry. Yes, they never really had to show their pass game. They were able to keep it simple and kind of play close to the vest because they have a good defense and a good running game. So I still have questions about that. But either way, it was a good win for them. The Atlanta Falcons need to, like I talked about with the Vikings, and this is anybody that's listened to my podcast the last few years, got to be more change-ups in that defense. You just can't play the Seattle scheme, cover 3, press bail, play after play after play after play. Because I'll tell you where it hurt them in this game more than anything. The Falcons, it's an 8-man box all the time. And what the Vikings did a number of times was, why try to run it up the middle where they basically have like 7 guys between the tackles? They would, do a little bit what I was just saying. Toss, crack, let's block the end down, and now there's 7 guys mashed up in the middle who can't get out to the edge, and we got Dalvin Cook, and he's fast as shit. Let's see if they can catch him once he goes through the hole.
Right.
And that's basically what they did. Oh, you want to play that defense and kind of stack the line of scrimmage? Well, we're just going to trap all you in there, and we'll see who comes out of the mush and can actually tackle Dalvin Cook. So that was the thing that was very, very encouraging from them overall. But I say this on the last thing going out. You could tell the Vikings are not going to give up on the run game this year. It is a point of emphasis. It was first down run, second down run. Get the first down run, second down run. They're going to play a little different style of football than they did last year, where it was, Kirk Cousins, and he's got to throw. And, of course, Dalvin Cook wasn't 100%.
Right. Let's move it to the NFC East. Redskins-Eagles, 20-7 at the Skins at halftime.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of this game. Carson Wentz, second half, and that was just fun to watch.
Yes.
I looked at your notes, and the first thing you wrote, not a lot of weakness to number 11.
No.
And he was on top of his game.
Yeah, extremely on top of his game. First off, the Deshaun Jackson factor changes things for that team.
Right.
They did not have that guy last year. Mac Hollins, he was hurt. Torrey Smith wasn't on the team. They had no deep threat. And that's why Carson Wentz last year threw for like 70%, but it was all 5, 4, 6, 5, 10 yards over the middle to Ertz. That's why Ertz had 197,000 catches last year, because they're masters at the short and intermediate pass game. So they need this to open the rest of their offense up, and that was encouraging. I mean, Deshaun Jackson can still fly with the best of them, and Carson Wentz is phenomenal deep ball thrower.
Oh my gosh, right?
Right? I mean, it's phenomenal. And then Carson Wentz on third downs. I mean, this is what, again, I'll still say it. The best Eagles team I ever saw was the Eagles team with Carson Wentz the year he was about to be the MVP. Not only because the team is good around him, but when the team fails, there was a few third downs in the game, he breaks the pocket and buys time and then breaks the pocket and sets up and makes a big throw for 15 or 20 yards. 3rd and 18, he had a conversion of 19 yards one time. Right. And that's a great quarterback for you. Oh, we're in a bad spot? Okay, I'm the franchise. I got us here. Oh, you didn't block that great? Don't worry. I'll make up for it. Nobody's open? Cool. I'll buy a little time. I'll throw a piss missile down the middle, and we'll get the first down. And that's what's cool about Carson Wentz.
Really cool were his numbers. 12 out of 13 on third down, 3 touchdowns, had a perfect passer rating.
He's an amazing third down quarterback. As dangerous as I've ever seen, really, when he's on his game.
The deep balls, and you mentioned it, I want to get back to it. This is a little bit getting into the minutia of quarterback stuff here, but it's not just an arm strength thing. It's not just you can drop back and how far can you throw it?
Right.
I can throw it 75 yards.
Yeah.
It's the way it comes out on the balls, 50 to 60 yards, and the way it finishes for his receivers. And see if this makes sense to you. But so like on the Monday night game, Deshaun Watson showed off tremendous arm strength, but a couple of those deep throws didn't get that high off the ground.
Yeah,
and it makes it a little more difficult on the receiver.
Definitely.
It's a first-class problem to
have.
More
difficult on the quarterback, too, sometimes, But
those 2 touchdowns, especially the first one, the long one to Deshaun Jackson,
the
way he threw it was like it was with a 9-iron or a wedge, and the way it just dropped down in there. You saw it on the slow motion on Fox. The point of the ball just coming right down was a great indication of how he can turn it over in the air. And I think it allows your receiver, no matter how fast he is, to gauge it and run underneath it in a much better way.
Definitely. It leaves room for error for the quarterback.
Underrated skill,
he doesn't have to throw it right on the money, right? Now I have this whole little 5x5 area where if I just drop it in there and I throw enough air, the receiver, he's a phenomenal athlete. He'll adjust and catch the ball accordingly and have his body in a good position to continue to run, okay? The second thing it does when you throw a high, deep ball, right, is the defensive backs choke their ass off. There's a reason they're defensive backs. So they're, oh gosh, here it comes, and they're panicking, I mean, and that's another thing that happens that you lose sight of in those. But he throws a beautiful deep ball, and he turns it over like you're
really
saying.
Well.
He does.
And to tag on to what you said about how defensive backs react to it, oftentimes they're not looking. They're just run right there.
And looking at the DB, waiting for the hands or go up.
If the receiver accelerates, they accelerate with them. If he has to slow down, he being the receiver, to gauge where it's going to land, the DB is going to slow down.
Usually hits them, or then it slows down with them, or hits them and runs into them. Exactly.
So that was fun to watch.
It was fun to watch. Their O-line looked good, the Eagles. I want to talk about that. Hey, this Redskins defense, they're a pretty solid group. I mean, their front four is good. They don't have corners that can play man-to-man. But Greg Minuski's always going to give some defenses some trouble. It's because he's a master at dropping people into zone coverages where he breaks you down and he finds tendencies. And, we got 3 receivers to the right, and we like to run this concept. You drop back to pass, and it's just somehow all his guys are underneath where you're trying to throw it. That tells me he's always been great at that. So it took them a little while to figure out what they wanted to do on the offensive side of the ball as far as the Eagles are concerned. But, man, the O-line, very impressive. Run downhill, Philadelphia. Run downhill. They're big, they're overpowering, they can maul people. All their big runs come from when they run downhill. They get stuck in this little sideway run game sometimes, and it drives me crazy because it lets the defenses off the hook at times, and I wish they would get Carson Wentz under the center a little bit more too.
Why?
Because he's a great deep ball thrower, and play action pass is the best way to throw deep.
Right.
And plus when you have guys like their O-line, Kelsey, Brandon Brooks, Peters, Lane Johnson, Isaac Suamolo, I mean they can just maul people straight ahead like a Baltimore Ravens style. They don't need to be going sideline to sideline. I just wish they would do that more, but either way, that was a really good start. And at the end of my notes, I wrote, Wentz on third down, because I mean it was unbelievable. I will say this: Landon Collins from Alabama looked like the guy from Alabama, and that would be the last thing. He looked like totally healthy,
better again,
flying around the field, more explosive than the guy I remembered for sure.
Other side, Redskins offense, Eagles defense. What stood out watching that one?
Yeah, bad tackling to start the game. Spider 2 Buckeye, Vernon Davis catches the ball in the flat. Four guys are around him and decide to two-hand touch play, and he runs down for a touchdown. So there's nothing there more than just bad tackling. I do think they gave the Redskins pass game zero respect early on in the game. It was up in your face, bump and run. The safeties were like at 8 and 9 yards. And, guess what happened? The guy, Terry McLaurin, who ran like 4.3 at the Combine, he ran by, Rasul Douglas and some of those corners. And that's what really happened there. But I think once their bluff got called on the 2 deep throws, they realized, okay, let's back off a little bit. Let's see if their offense can execute down the field and make plays that happen. And that's when the game really kind of changed its tune and the Eagles started to dominate the game.
They started out a little too aggressive.
Yeah. So say that again?
They started out too aggressive.
They started out way too aggressive. That is another, like I say, a pet peeve from the Eagles with the sideway running, a pet peeve with me with Jim Schwartz, who I think a lot of on the defensive side of the ball. He can be like a meathead, for lack of a better phrase. I'm going to stop the run, and I'm going to kill the quarterback. And he just doesn't need to do it. He's got great creative coverages on the back end, and he's got a front four that can win a lot of battles by themselves. They don't need extra help. Fletcher Cox is 2 humans in 1.
Right.
And Brandon Graham is one of the strongest, stoutest defense ends in football. The Barrett kid's good. And now they lost Malik Jackson. That stinks. But, those were things. Hey, here's an example. It's 10-0 Skins. It's 2nd and 9 on the 31-yard line. The Eagles bring blitz cover 0. Like, they rush 6 and play cover 0. And I wrote, WTF, what the And then I wrote, shocker, TD from McLaurin. I don't get that. Those are the little things. And when he stopped doing that, the game totally changed around, and they controlled the game really from that point on.
Fun quarterback game to watch. 83 passes thrown, over 70% completion combined, over 10 yards per completion, which is kind of a change now. There's so much conservative decision-making going on right now.
It's coming back, the deep ball.
These guys were going down the field. They only took 2 sacks.
Yeah.
They didn't throw a pick.
Yeah. No,
it was a good one.
It was a good one. Both of those offensive lines are good. It's hard to get pressure on those two when they're pass protecting, because that Redskins O-line, I don't even care. Even though Trent Williams is not there, it's still a pretty good unit. Brandon Scherf, Morgan Moses, some of those guys, they can play. And Eric Flowers ain't bad either. All right, we got my dad.
I heard that.
He's here. What's up, big guy? You doing good?
Well, I enjoyed listening to you two yak it up for the last 20 minutes waiting here online, but that's okay. I got all day. I got nothing to do.
We had some technical difficulties in our setup today, so we did get started late.
Behind
so I'm sorry about that. We're behind.
Well, it was great. I got to hear you say geez, and then WTF, and then this and that, and
Yeah, I think.
And meats. I heard somebody's a meathead.
Yeah.
So I was writing all these words down. I got to use these in my dialogue at CBS and enjoy my 1-week stand as they fire me after it's over.
Yeah, that's right. That's why you have a podcast. You can say that kind of crap.
I hear you. I hear you. I can't do it though. That's okay.
All right. So.
Some interesting comments I heard you make.
Okay.
That was great. I have not watched the Philadelphia Eagles game with Washington. I can't wait to watch it.
Yep.
But it was all over the place week 1. You know what I mean?
It was.
Things that you say, you don't know who you are really, any team, until 4 weeks is up. Because all that off-season planning that you do as an organization team, here's what we're going to do and all that, and then the games come around, you go, uh-oh, none of it worked.
Yeah.
Boy, it looked good on the chalkboard during the off-season.
Right.
But and I think every team, and you said this, I'm pretty sure, if you don't change your team around every year, then you're gonna get worse.
Right.
And every team is always searching for a new identity in a certain way every year.
Right.
It was that way in my career, and I'm sure it was in yours. And Paul, you follow the game, you know it. So it might not be noticeable to the average fan, but it's very noticeable to the NFL and to the players.
Okay, so off of that, and I know this is something you wanted to talk about because we talked about it for a second last night, and we didn't get into it because I always say save it for the podcast, so we don't have the podcast before the identity. And you brought up the Pittsburgh Steelers a little bit last night on the phone. I do. I watch that film. I worry about the Pittsburgh Steelers offense more than I thought I was going to worry about them when I got done watching the film. Because, you sit there and you go, okay, it's Juju Smith-Schuster. But what else? What else is going to scare a defense? And I know you have some thoughts on that. Yeah.
Well, I got many thoughts. It was alarming as a fan, and and as a guy that's in this business, going, oh my gosh, because you find out, you see numbers and we see things, and that so-called number one receiver, we throw that title around really easy, and I think what I saw in that game, I think what the Patriots did on defense told us so much. How many times did they double-team Juju Smith-Schuster?
I mean, I don't know if they did one time. If they did, maybe it was once.
It was, well, of course, inside the 10-yard line, what do they do? They're always going to double the slides. They doubled him once. I think that was the only time that I saw. So he did not really distinguish himself with the one-on-one coverage. He had some success. But besides that, and then James Washington, I didn't see him really separate himself. So everybody is a good player, but when you got to go up one step, are you still a good player or a really good player?
Right.
And so that's tough. Juju Smith-Schuster is not like what I call a speed burner in the NFL.
No, definitely not. Right.
There's a lot of good corners now, and he's going to see a lot of one-on-one coverage, and it's going to be interesting to see what Pittsburgh does with all this. And too, watching the Jets play, not getting off target here.
Yeah, okay.
But just watching Le'Veon Bell play the game and everything, and all the little things he brought to it, blitz protection, getting extra yards on the run, catching the ball off his shoe tops and never breaking stride, which was awesome.
Catching in the jump ball and the two-point conversion.
Yeah, and how big he looks in that damn uniform.
Right.
He looks like a defensive end. And, you just forget. Last year, they don't miss him. James Conner is great. And, look, I even kind of said it to give James Conner some credit, but now that I see him both.
Week after week you go, Le'Veon.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. So,
yeah.
But you got to, just to keep going on that.
Yeah.
So, Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, we're talking about two of the top of their profession off of your team. Nobody has four top people like that. So they lost two, and they don't have two to replace them, and it makes a big difference in their team. And just think of the Jets.
Yeah.
C.J. Mosley was tremendous.
Right.
Until he goes out of the game, and could have cost them the game.
Yeah, it might have. It might have cost them the game. You're right.
Yeah. Their safeties, Jamal Adams, Marcus May, they were great.
Yep.
Who else am I thinking? Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
Jamison Crowder.
Right.
What a pick. I mean, boy, so some of the moves they made paid off. Thank God they were there. They might not have got a yard.
Right.
And I think the thing that disappointed me in the Jet game,
I
thought Sam Darnold was not sharp.
Right.
And I understand it. It's the first game of the year, and you're playing a team that's just all over the place on the defensive side, the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
They're fast, aggressive, smart.
Yes.
Don't make many mistakes, if any. And, man, I've just never watched a defense where everybody has a high motor when the game is being played.
Yeah, agreed. Go ahead. What do you want to say?
I had written down from your notes, Chris, about that game. This plays off what your dad said. Well, game plan specific simplicity to go along with those other traits.
They're a very talented defense. They're the perfectly built modern day defense. Okay, just as far as their defensive line. They got guys that can kind of do everything. They got a guy like Trent Murphy, who's a good pass rusher, but he's also great against the run. They got Ed Oliver in the middle, who's a good pass rusher for a defensive tackle, but also good against the run. Then the other side, it's Jerry Hughes. He's the same way. And then you got two linebackers in Milano and Edmonds, who are a phenomenal fly around the field, awesome in the run game. And the pass game, they're every bit as damn good as well because they're so athletic.
And they got that other anchor inside, Star
Lotulelei, right?
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah, I know.
They're 8 deep on the D line, and that's another thing that's impressive about them.
Listen.
Yeah.
They're the team. When you're the opposing quarterback, you go, okay, let's be tough. Not going to have great numbers. Going to have to live with it. Don't think it's like Josh McDaniel said in the documentary during the Super Bowl against the Rams. He goes, well, there's some days you got to realize you're just not going to score 30.
Right.
And so let's just try to win the game.
Yeah.
But I thought Sam Darnold, a lot of blitzing by the Bills in a way, under pressure, just never set his feet to really throw the ball.
No.
And, of course, I made a big thing on CBS before. Hey, his feet, he can be one way and make the throw the other way. But this was different. He was really off balance.
Yep.
And never could leverage the football, so he couldn't even, he couldn't even put any speed on the football to get it where he wanted it to go.
They had problems protecting, and the Bills don't give you the easy bullshit over the middle, which is where Adam Gase and Sam Darnold thrive. You know?
Well, they did. Listen, Jamison Crowder ran the Patriots play they won the Super Bowl with.
Yeah, right.
They ran it 23 times, I think, in a game.
They did. You're right. Fake in, come back out, do all that kind of stuff.
They did the scat pass, go across the formation, throw the ball to the running back about 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
A couple wide receiver screens, and there we go.
Right.
And so, you know, I understand the Bills' defense, but you are allowed to put the quarterback under the center with Le'Veon Bell, and let's fake it and get it down the field. That's how you get the football down the field.
I agree. That is an issue all over the NFL. I mean, you already heard
shotgun
it.
heaven.
Shotgun heaven. I mean, while you're on it, the Steelers were in shotgun every play except for the first game of the play of the game and a play in the third quarter. It was just shotgun.
Shotgun, 5 wide receivers, and oh my God. You just couldn't. And the Patriots, there's so many shots in the game. I kind of did this yesterday. They're spread out, and everybody's got their hands up, and you can tell they're all looking at each other. We got, who.
Yeah.
And you know, it's amazing their communication and knowledge of what they do, and they were all over everything.
Yeah.
And it was again, not going to go too crazy, but there's no question the Patriots defense, Paul, just seeing your eyes, did it tell you that it was faster on TV?
Yeah. Right.
And even their offense looks faster.
Yeah, they got talent on their team right now. It's now that's what's scary about the Patriots. We always know the scheme is good, but now they have talent along with their scheme, and that's when they go to Super Bowls 4 out of 5 years in a row and all that kind of crap. Right.
I said this too, and it's very hard to do. I just said it to somebody. They're going to do the game this weekend down with the Pats. I said, I think at one time during training camp, they had 24 defensive backs on the roster in training camp.
Right. Yeah.
So they built their defense from the secondary to the front.
Right.
Where everybody else is going, we got to get a pass rusher.
Yeah.
And, you know, how many they surround the quarterback and slowly suffocate him, and their coverage, you know, they got so many guys that can cover and so many smart defensive players that have been in the system for so long. I mean, how long is Patrick Chung, Deron Harmon, and Devin McCourty going to play?
Right.
Are they going to do the Brady-Belichick thing? They all go out together?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's unreal.
Yeah.
And they're still, in fact, I think they're all getting better. I really do.
Yeah. Defensively, Flores leaves. I mean, in all intents and purposes, I mean, Bill Belichick's the defensive coordinator. You mentioned a moment ago, Phil, that you think every team wants to create a new identity each year. What did you recognize that was different about the Patriots' defense, in addition to just being really good?
Just more, even more creative. In other words, no more just moving people more, and you can do that with speed because in case of mistake, you can recover. Some of the blitzing I thought was really clever. You know, they blitzed one time in a little bunch formation that Pittsburgh was going to get them on, trick them, and they blitzed it. And the backside guy, you know, all of a sudden it was Hightower. Thank God Ben got the ball knocked down by John Simon, because if the ball is going to be completed, he's going to run into number 54, who is going to knock him out. And you just go, and I was watching it. As I watched it, I go, now, did they make this call before they saw the formation, or did they see the formation and change the defensive call?
I think the second. Once they saw the formation, they knew the formation, and they go, ooh, they like to run this little – it was like the Seattle play in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, there you go.
It's the same thing, right? It's the same type of play. So they know, okay, we're 2-on-2 versus their 2 receivers, and we're screwed if they run that little pick play where the outside guy runs the slant route. So they tell the outside linebacker or defense end to drop out. So we're not screwed if they do throw that slant. I think that's a check on the fly once they see the formation.
Yeah, my thought is that too. I've told you this story. Who are the 3? McGinnis, Vrabel, and Teddy Bruschi.
Yeah.
They're in a game, and there is some unbelievable thing the offense is going to try to do, and the 3 of them they've never talked about it. It's never been shown. Belichick and they make the adjustment, and they call, you know, they say, do, they go through all their yelling at each other. The play runs, they stuff it out. and they came to the sideline, and, they expected Bill Belichick, hey, great job, guys, and all that. He just goes, out of the way, or, all right, that's what you're supposed to do. Get out. That's it.
Right,
Nothing.
Right.
No, way to do it on the fly. Hey, this is what we taught you to be. Think, figure it out, and get it done. And it was a great story. I think it was Mike Vrabel telling me the story. It wasn't Mike Vrabel. It was Willie McGinnis telling me the story.
Yeah.
And he goes, you think they'd give us a little break? No, that's, we expect that.
It's the beauty of New England. And, Dad, you make a good point. Well, they're so good in the secondary right now, Paul, that he can go, I trust my secondary, so we can call anything on that end. But really what it does is it gives him great flexibility with his front seven and front six now to mess around. Oh, we want to play man. Oh, I could have these two guys drop out and stop crossers, and then I can run stunts with the other guys as they pass rush. Or we send all of them because I can just trust my guys in coverage. I mean, it gives them great flexibility to be versatile up front because the secondary is so awesome in the back end. I think that's one of the special things about them.
I know you're going to kick me off here soon, but the other thing is, I got to talk about Jacksonville a little.
Okay, good.
Is just, oh my gosh. I mean, first off, here we are getting emotional in the very first game of the year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
People getting mad, fights.
Yes.
Miles Jackson gets kicked out of the game. Of course, he's mad because he calls big plays. I mean, the first touchdown to Sammy Watkins, if he just stands there's nowhere to throw the ball. But he got caught by as Bill Parcells would call it, you can't chase car. Don't be a dog chaser or a car chaser. It's a dog. Every time a car goes by.
You're talking about the second touchdown pass of Sammy Watkins.
No, the first one. The one to Sammy Watkins.
Well, the first one of Sammy Watkins was right down the middle of the field. Remember, he threw the in cut.
The coverage, he should have stood right where he was.
Okay.
And he chased the fake bubble outside, and they threw it exactly where he was standing.
Right.
There's nowhere to go. Watch it again. Call me tonight and apologize.
Okay. No, I just thought you were talking about the second one. So, okay.
No, the first one, it's just.
Yep.
And then, of course, come on. Travis Kelce going across the field and catching that deep pass. I mean, come on. Those are, for everybody in the league runs that dumb play. And they blow the coverage again, and they give up, a long play.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Well, I'll say this. I don't blame Miles Jack as much as I blame the Jacksonville defensive coaches.
Well, yeah, of course. You're right. That's me.
It's too much on a player. Even with the shit play to Sammy Watkins where he came across the line of scrimmage, he came down, they do the run fake, and then he wheeled out the backside, right? Do you remember the second Sammy Watkins touchdown?
Yeah, I mean, how many times you got to see that play if you're, the Jacksonville Jaguars where you figure out stay at home and all that stuff? Yeah, it was a great play. It was clever. I had to watch it 3 times to figure out where he came from.
Yeah, right. Well, and it's not fair because Miles Jack's on the highlight, the one chasing Sammy Watkins, but I'm going to go, well, he's the middle linebacker. Right. He's the middle linebacker, 1. 2, it was a run fake. He does have to, go up and help the run, so he has to do that. But then you're expecting him to, stop the run, and if they don't run it, we'd like you to now chase one of the fastest receivers in football as he runs a shallow cross.
Sounds like a good
And then
plan.
If he comes up the sideline, we'd also like you to cover him there. That shit is just not realistic. I mean,
it's unbelievable. It's done, and they get beat by some of those plays every single week. And I don't know. I'll just say this, too. Josh Allen, their first-round pick.
Yeah.
Him and Calais Campbell, shoot.
Yeah,
don't go anywhere. Be a tandem forever. I saw enough in one game to say they are unbelievable together.
Yes, they are.
And Patrick Mahomes, he took some pretty good hits in that game.
Yep.
He made some great throws. The throw to Sammy Watkins, that play, if you look at it close, he threw a hook shot.
He did. I'm watching it right now because since you called me out, I'm watching it. I'm right in front of me. You're right.
Okay, well, good. Real quick, Paul, let him watch it and let me hear it. I'm waiting.
Well, here we go. So this is where I'll say. Now, they play a match zone, right? So I think even on this play, Miles Jack, he takes Travis Kelce underneath, but I think he's doing what he's coached is supposed to do.
Oh, which play you watching?
The first touchdown to Sammy Watkins, like you're talking about.
No, you're wrong. He's supposed to sit right in there and stay there, and that's the coverage, and there's nowhere to go. The in cut to Sammy Watkins will not be there.
But either way, it was a great throw because he kind of throws a hook shot there, too.
Yes, he did. And Sammy, here, my last thing is this. It was really great to a couple things. LaShawn McCoy looked good in that uniform with Kansas City. Is he the same guy? No, but he's not. He's good enough.
He's good enough.
Fits great.
Right.
You know, Deshaun Jackson, you know, I can't wait to watch that just to see him run down the field and be happy. But, you know, guys like Sammy Watkins.
Yeah.
When's the last time we saw him healthy?
Clemson.
That's what I said on the air. I
Yeah.
said, we saw the Clemson Sammy Watkins. Everybody goes, what are you talking about? This is what he looked like at Clemson. He's finally healthy. You know, I had to explain it because everybody goes, what do you mean Clemson? Is that a term? And who am I missing? Oh, and John Ross for the Bengals.
Uh-huh.
Just to see him healthy and to run and do all that. And we all make the mistakes all the time in this business. We judge or say things. We got to be careful. And I know, everybody has to play hurt. Yeah, we know that. But a lot of guys are playing injured. And then we judge him. Oh, he's not as good as we thought. Oh, he's always, you know. And so it's great to see some of these guys make rebounds. And last but not least, Deshaun Watson, please, get rid of the ball, go down.
Right.
2 years ago, he was playing a game. He ran the ball 9 times. The quarterback draws, sweeps, everything. He never took one hit. Now, you've said it right, Christopher, and Paul, I know you've heard him say it. Every play is like, it's hold it forever. I'm going to make the big play, all this stuff.
I stole it from you. His last play of the game. You said it one time watching Deshaun Watson, and I was like, that's the way to say it. Every play is the last play of the game for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. I mean,
let me scramble. Let me sit in the pocket to the last very second and let him just wipe me the out while I'm in the pocket and get crushed. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
He's tough as hell. He's unbelievable talent, but I want to keep watching him.
We'd like to keep watching him.
Yeah, exactly. That's
what I'm my opening comment on Showtime. Number one, Deshaun Watson, quit taking so many hits or something like that. Get down. That was like my first thought. Come on.
Yeah.
You know, we want to see you play.
Right.
And here he is, the first game. I don't know if it's his knee or his back or what, but boy, that was some hit he took.
Yeah,
that touchdown.
It definitely was.
Hey, will y'all get back to your cursing? I mean, Paul. I don't hear Paul cursing, Christopher.
No, well, I know someone's got to bring this thing down. I got to bring the class down here. Okay, that's my job.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing hey, listen, I'll give you that, son. You're doing a hell of a job. That away, babe.
Thanks, Dad. I appreciate
Paul,
it.
I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, Phil.
You the man,
It was
Dad.
fun, man.
See ya.
Be
good.
You didn't ask him, though.
With what?
The standing up, sitting down thing next week.
Oh, damn it. I forgot.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens.
Don't ask him in your free time either.
Well,
right?
yeah, I won't. I'll let it go. I will bring it up totally cold next week.
I was watching that Patrick Mahomes throw.
Yes.
That we were just talking about. I know people can't see it, but he had set up to throw to his right and had his whole body going that way.
Right.
And then just
like sees him at the corner of his eye.
Just like, went back the other way against his body like that, which is very difficult. It's like watching old highlights of Pete Maravich in basketball.
Yes.
Like the ball goes in after he did these crazy things with it.
Yes.
And that's why it's so much fun to watch.
And I think I still am going to sit here now that he's off the phone. I'm definitely going to say it. He's wrong.
About which one?
With Miles Garrett.
You guys are talking about a different play, I think.
Well, maybe we were. He's old, and he might have been hit in the head by Reggie White too many times. But that's that's one of my problems with Jacksonville in general. And I talked about this the other day. It's just they ask some of their players unrealistic things to do at times.
Schematically?
Just not even fair.
Which side?
It's just,
defensively?
on defense. Like just like that with Miles Jack. Or, oh, hey, stop the run. You need to be responsible for the B gap, and you also need to be responsible for the deep crosser at the same time. Well, if they fake a run in the B gap,
screwed.
Kind of hard for me to stop Sammy Watkins running behind me. I mean, and they expect it. And the problem is those guys are so freaky gifted athletically that they can pull it off a lot of games.
Right.
But not when it's Sammy Watkins and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. That becomes a game changer. Right.
All right.
So
we've got a tiny little bit out of order. We hit Steelers-Patriots.
We hit Steelers-Patriots.
Those guys.
Yep, I do. There's a few things I'd like to bring up in that matchup that I know we just didn't get to that I think are worth at least talking about. I know Dad kind of hit them for the most part.
My favorite comment that you wrote down about this game?
Yeah.
Have the Steelers ever played the Patriots before?
I mean
that's what it looked like to me.
I'd like to know because
it looked to me like the Patriots didn't even have to break a sweat. Like they had the answers before the test. They knew what they were going to do. I mean, like every step of the way. Made it look easy. Like it's not a surprise that they won.
Right.
It's a surprise that they just made it look.
It looked like it was preseason game 3.
No big deal.
Right. Exactly. That was discouraging. And listen, a game can fall apart. Like you look at the final score of Browns Titans, and it's 43-13, and I would sit there and go, it's misleading. Right.
Patriots Steelers was not
misleading. It might have been the opposite. It should have been 53-3 if they really wanted to keep the pedal to the metal. But yeah, there's some concerning things altogether. I think in the matchup. First off, Dad said it. I mean, Pittsburgh, everybody on earth knows, my little boy at 9 years old knows that if you go up to New England and you're one-dimensional, you're going to lose the football game. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go play the New England Patriots without Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, and we're just going to get in the shotgun every play and throw the ball. We're just going to throw it every play. Never get under center. Never make the defense or Bill Belichick have to think about anything other than, this is their shotgun attack, which they probably know as good as anybody in football other than the Steelers coaches.
Yeah.
And, they were all over everything on their field, let alone the same personnel's not there. There's nothing to scare you with the Steelers offense right now. That's my big concern going forward. Juju's a really good player. Every number one receiver needs a good number two.
Yeah.
And they don't have a good number two. He's a borderline really good number one. I would just say he's a one. I'm not going to say he's like a superstar one. Not at this point. He's a superstar number two.
Right.
But who's the number two on their team? They're none. They don't have one. They have a bunch of number threes, and that's an issue.
Think about the giant step up that is for him to go from being a solid to a really, really good number two.
Yes.
First of all, then you go to being number one. That's a giant leap. Then you don't have anything solid behind him to take his place like he was as the number two.
Exactly right. So there's nobody to take pressure off it.
So it's doubly difficult for his expectations.
You're right. It's a double whammy. And, the Patriots, when you play that kind of style of football, they played 2-4 personnel almost the majority of the game. 2 down linemen, 4 linebackers. And that might have been a 4 down front because they would put guys like Simon, who's a linebacker, and Shalik Calhoun, who's a linebacker, and they made him a D end when they went nickel defense. Right. But that gives them the versatility again to, this guy can drop out, this guy can blitz, this guy can cover the tight end, this guy will go to the running back. It was just really disappointing overall with the Steelers' game plan in general that they did that, and I don't understand it. First snap of the game under the center, one of the first plays in the third quarter, first snap under the center, and that was it. And again, what happened? The Steelers' O-line's a good run-blocking team.
Right, yeah.
They used to, 2 years ago with Le'Veon Bell, it was like ground and pound. Like, we might give him the ball 32 times in a game and pull guards and do all that.
And for as terrific as he was, it wasn't just him.
The offensive line's good.
As you mentioned, still very much intact.
Yes.
The main players are still there.
They're still there. Yeah. There's no excuse, and I just don't understand how they fell into that trap.
We've been talking football, I'm guessing, 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And multiple times it's come up from you, also come up from your dad. And I trust what you guys know about offensive football.
Yeah.
Major complaints about teams not being under center.
Yes.
What are the teams missing by not getting under center as opposed to just being in shotgun the whole time?
Well, you're just letting the defense be in their comfort zone, the defensive coordinator and the coach. First of all, we talked about it a lot. College football is shotgun every play. These kids are coming into football now and going, the spread, this is what I'm used to. No problem. It's not catching anybody by surprise. 2, you're just taking a whole inventory of plays away from the offense plays that stress the defense out more than anything. And the big thing is play action pass. More than anything, I do look at that. Plus just the effects of a running back coming downhill.
Right. Yeah.
You watched New England the other night. How many times did he fake to Sony Michel up the middle and Julian Edelman was wide open right behind him?
Right.
And you go, damn, that's Julian Edelman. How is they letting him that open? The New Orleans Saints, he gets underneath center a lot.
Backing up to
Same
the
thing.
first team we talked about, the Vikings, Kirk Cousins gets under center.
Under center a ton.
Run game was really good.
It adds a physicality to your football team, and it makes the defense start to think, linebackers start going, I got to get downhill. And the linemen start thinking about run game. If you're just sitting there in the shotgun, they're almost never thinking about, I got to worry about this block in the run game. I got to beat my guy and get to the quarterback. I got to beat my guy and get to the quarterback. The corner's going, wait, it's cover 3? It's cover 4? Oh, okay, that's all I got to do. When they're in this formation and shotgun, coach told me to be ready for this and this. So if you never change the rules for what a defense has to think, they're kind of in a power position all the time. And that to me is a major issue. When you're in the shotgun and you're running the football a lot, hey, it can work, obviously. I'm not saying it can't work, but the running back is not going to get the head of steam that he's going to get coming downhill out of the I formation. And I think you're seeing the good offenses are getting the I formation and running downhill.
I'm going to tie back into what you said about the Minnesota Vikings defense. And back to your notes, you said how much they were changing it up. And any one of those coverages would probably, average by itself.
Right.
But when you line it up with 7 other ones they played in the first 3 series, it's hard to adjust to. And other side, if you're a defense, if the quarterback is always in shotgun, you get used to it. You kind of know what's coming.
Exactly.
If they mix it up, it just makes it a lot more.
It makes them, what personnel are we in now? Because they got in a big 2 tight end set. Oh, wait, my rules have changed for that. They're just, it's comfort zone all along. And, I never got to get back to, are we going to do Jets-Bills now, or did we count that as we doing that with him?
Let's count it.
Let's count it?
Yeah.
Okay. You just want to move on? Okay, fine.
I want to back up to a game we were going to hit, Cowboys-Giants.
Yeah, okay, let's do that.
Especially the Cowboys offense.
Yep.
There were pass catchers running wide open. By NFL standards, wide open.
Yep.
I saw the TV highlights. I didn't watch the tape like you did.
Right.
How did they get that many guys that open?
Yeah, okay. So first thing is John McDonald here is a big Giants fan. Don't cry, okay? Everything's okay.
A lot of tears in this building.
Okay, come on, hold them in. All right, but Giants secondary, which we questioned through the preseason, they're not talented. That's the number one thing. The only guy that's a proven commodity there is Janoris Jenkins. Hey, Antoine Bethea is as well, but he's old. Like, he's very old.
Yeah.
I don't know what year this is. 13 for him? 12?
Well
somewhere
past
there?
30.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Jabril Peppers didn't play on passing situations in Cleveland last year. They took him off the field. DeAndre Baker, I think you heard some of my concerns about him coming out in the draft.
Yeah.
I think he's a good football player. I think he's a nickel or a safety.
Right.
I don't think he can run to be an outside shutdown corner. Oh, and what did I see? Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper running by DeAndre Baker in some one-on-one situations. That was a little scary to me. But really the credit goes to Kellen Moore and then what they did. They changed their offense. They did. And it was from the get-go. And I wrote, first play of the game, Cowboys offense has a different look. Shifts, motions, and I wrote me likey. I mean,
I did see that.
Yeah, because I just was like, damn.
I thought it was your cursive and I couldn't read.
No, it was me likey, like me likey a lot, okay? So that was amazing, all right? They came out with a pass-first mindset, which is not always the case with the Dallas Cowboys. It's usually run on first, run on second, Dak bail us out. They kind of came out in this game and said, no, you think we're going to come out and run the ball? We're going to come out and we're going to back you off and get you off the line of scrimmage a little bit, and then we'll start to hit Zeke and Pollard and do that. That was nice. That's one thing that definitely I noticed. But the formation usage, more personnel usage, more movement, play action pass.
Yeah.
And when I say play action pass too, this is another thing. This is why New England's amazing in play action pass. They marry their play action passes with their runs. Dallas for years was, we're going to run the play action pass, but the offensive line is really doing a slide protection or making it look like inside-outside zone, right? So they're all kind of just going one way. And then Dak Prescott's behind the line of scrimmage acting like he's going to give to Zeke and drops back. A lot of the times, like linebackers, they take a step, but it doesn't fool them. They go, well, nobody run blocks like that all day long. That's not a run blocking offensive line kind of move there. So they might be fooled for a step because of the flow, but then they get back, and then the play action pass is screwed.
Right.
What I saw in this game was play action pass, guards pulling. And now it's like, the second level is like, oh shit, here comes Zeke downhill and Zach Martin's pulling. Oh gosh, no, somebody's wide open behind me. That was a different aspect. And you know why most teams don't do that kind of stuff? Because it's really hard to coach. When a defense lines up in a different front or they bring a blitz or something like that, and now you have a guard that's pulling, the offensive line has to sort all that stuff out.
Defenses are taught to read the guard.
Exactly. A guard is a huge thing. Right.
Yeah.
Guards are usually the key to the play. Right. So that was really refreshing on that side of the ball, let alone Randall Cobb, Gallup being in his second year, and Amari Cooper being there. They have 3 tough matchups one-on-one in the pass game. And Blake Jarwin and Witten at tight end that are going to give linebackers and safeties an issue in the pass game as well. So not only is the personnel good, but for the first time in a while, they're actually giving their personnel a schematical advantage to go along with it. And that's when you go, whoa, they scored on 5 straight touchdown drives. You know what I mean? Because that's what can happen.
I think about NFL-style offensive, like high-level formations, motions, to dictate to the defense, telling them this is what we want you to play. We want you to guard this tight end with that player, so we're going to line up here in motion here. I think about Andy Reid first when he does that.
Definitely.
And I listened to you Monday, and you talked about the ways he did it.
Yes.
When you compared what Kellen Moore is doing with formations and motions to what you see in Kansas City, it's a small sample size. It's one game, but how does that compare?
Yeah, well, like Andy's the master at it. He's
the man.
He's the man at it. And coming up with a new play altogether, or just coming up with a new look for a play that he runs a lot.
Right.
But he gives you a lot of window dressing beforehand.
He's the PhD A+ guy, the gold standard. So I'm not asking if it's as good, but are they doing the same?
Yes, they are. They are, and they ran some concepts that they've been running for years and years. But they did it some different ways to where you didn't see it coming. And I went, oh, there's their what I would call F-angle play, because they love to have like 3 receivers to the right. The first guy runs a shallow cross. The second guy kind of goes upfield and kind of follows a shallow cross on like a tight slant.
Yeah.
And then the guy on the outside runs a comeback or maybe a post over the top, whatever it may be. They love that. It was such a go-to for Tony Romo. They did it in this game. They didn't forget about it because they're good at it.
Right.
But they dressed it up with some motions or fake the speed sweep to Tavon Austin going one way, and then the concept was on the other side to open up the window of that play. Yeah. That's what a good offensive coordinator does. It's not always about inventing new plays. Yeah, I hope you got a few every week to do that.
Yeah.
But it's about dressing up your normal meat and potatoes to where the defense doesn't go, oh, here's the normal meat and potatoes.
Make it look different for a half second.
Exactly
a little bit of hesitation, uncertainty, and there you go. I wrote down one thing that I thought was really interesting about the Cowboys offense that you, one of your observations, you said Dak's motion looks
Thank you for taking me there.
Looks better, looks different.
Yes.
How so?
Yep. And you know what, John, I'm going to stand up for a second. You ready for this? Here we go. Just from one, I haven't stood up with you in a while. This is exciting stuff.
I know.
Dak has always been a real like that kind of thrower, you know, and you've heard me say that. That's hard. He can get away with it.
Yeah.
You know, even Cam Newton gets away with that a little bit. Why? Because they're just big, strong individuals.
Talking about like a little too much over the top.
A little too much over the top. It's just not flowing. It's herky-jerky.
Right.
It's just like, it's not like we see Brady and Rodgers, who just looks like, oh, man, that was effortless. And whoa, that was 40 yards he threw that? It looked like he was throwing it 5 yards. You know, when Dak Prescott does it at times, you were like, damn, he threw that ball like he was going to throw it 50 yards, but it was really 10 yards. He threw it because it was such a high-effort throw. It was so, and his front leg would locked out. I don't know who got in his ear, but his throwing motion on Sunday, 99% or 90% of the time, was a cross. I mean, it really was. And where it really helped him was like he ran the zone read or an RPO, and then when the slant was coming, he told the ball, and it was just, it was like, whoa, the ball flew out of his hand just effortlessly. And it wasn't like this, oh, let me do this, and then, where I give the defense also an extra read because my motion was so long and like herky-jerky and like, what do I want to say, obvious, that now the safety saw it all the way. When you do it like that, where you just zoom and zoom like that, man, you're giving your receiver that little split second that might be the difference of him making a guy miss. And now instead of a 10-yard gain, he made that guy miss and got 40 yards. It's
interesting. A couple minutes ago when you first started talking about Dak's motion, how you noticed it was different, you said, before it wasn't like Brady, it wasn't like Rodgers. Those are the two guys I think about that changed their motion. They're tweaked it the most from college until now. They're a lot older. They've thought about it more. They've worked on it more. But those are two guys who have truly made little changes where I feel like with other quarterbacks, I'm going to change my motion. It doesn't look any different. No, it doesn't. But Dak's actually was a little different.
Dak's was actually, no, it was amazing.
What's the difference it makes when someone follows through to the side like that as opposed to straight down like you're traditionally taught?
Yep, good job, John. I'm going back. You know, I
just wanted you to stand up.
Yeah, well, no, because just think about it this. When you're going like this, okay, first off, if you want to throw the ball hard that way, your arm needs to go that way. Your force has to go that way. You know, so by doing this, you're applying all the force to the way you want the ball to go. If you're coming from here, from here, your arm is going to go down this way. If you're going to punch somebody as hard as you could, you wouldn't go, like that. You would go, let me wind up and I'm going to punch him and go right through his head, right? This is the best way to apply power. You know, and that's the same thing with throwing the football. If you want to throw the ball 40 yards down the field on the line, well, your arm better kind of go on that line as well. If you think it's going to go from a really high point and then down to a really low point and you're still going to apply the same power, there's just no way. You might spin it really hard, right? And you might throw a real pretty spiral. But this is what happened to Peyton Manning at the end of his career. It got so like this, and he couldn't figure it out, and he started wearing a glove and all those things. But it was just from here to here. And you could throw a pretty spiral, but the ball's not traveling anywhere. It's not going anywhere with any velocity to drive it into, like you're saying, a tight window or down the field or whatever it may be.
We should do a second podcast just about like nerdy
throwing.
Mechanics.
Well, I could do that for sure, but don't put any more on my plate right now, okay? Jeez, I'm busy.
You seem to be pretty busy.
Yeah, I got the
commercials and all.
Oh, I got a Peter King promo. I forgot. Damn, my bad. My bad, Peter King. You are the man. Okay, new podcast dropped today, Wednesday. All right, Peter's podcast always got great guests. Man, He got Mike Lombardi on, okay? That's a great get. I can't believe he stole Mike Lombardi. I want to have Mike Lombardi on the podcast here with us at one point.
Can he do both?
He can. Mike's my buddy.
I worked with him for years.
He's a great guy. He's got great insight. He's awesome.
Hilarious.
He's got so many, witty ways to say things. He's been around so many good football minds, and he knows New England and Bill Belichick like nobody does.
Let's get him on.
So we should do that. But that's going to be interesting. Peter had him on to talk about how he wanted to know what Mike Lombardi, how he thought the Patriots would handle Antonio Brown. Okay. That's a must listen. Definitely good. And then he's got David Bakhtiari, one of the best left tackles in football for the Green Bay Packers, and Aaron Rodgers plus Monopoly. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know if they're playing together or what, but either way, I'm all in on A-Rod, and Bakhtiari, who just absolutely smashed A-Rod in the beer chugging contest. A big fan of him as well, and his pass protection. But check that out. Peter King Podcast drops on Wednesdays. It's out there, available right now on any place that you get your podcast.
Can we do 2 more games?
Of course.
2 more?
We can do as many as you'd like, or as many as I've watched at least, that's for sure.
I've been waiting for this one because we're going to do this all season long. We might not ever have one that's 59-10.
Yeah.
In the NFL, this just doesn't happen. The Ravens beating the Dolphins.
No.
59-10. And for a little perspective, I went back and looked at the college scores from the weekend.
Yeah, right.
So Alabama played New Mexico State. New Mexico State is as hapless a team traditionally in college football as there is. They didn't outgain New Mexico State the same way that Baltimore outgained Miami. How did that happen in the NFL?
Yeah, it's very rare to see it. It was an ass whooping of all ass whoopings, and it's one, when you're really good at something, it forces your hand. And I say this to Mike a lot. The really good offenses do one thing really good. Then it makes the defense go, whoa, we have to stop that. And then you can do things off of that, right?
Right, exactly. You build off of that.
You build off of that, right? Oh, they're trying to take away. Oh, we're New England and we throw to Gronk on third down. Oh, you want a double Gronk? Well, we have 90 million ways now to screw you with Julian Edelman, right? Or, oh, you want to take away Michael Thomas in the middle of Sean Payton? Oh, that's fine. You're one-on-one with Alvin Kamara? Okay. Oh, that's fine. I got a million plays for Alvin Kamara. Right. Go ahead, take away Michael Thomas, my bread and butter. That's what a good offensive coordinator does. And the Ravens' one thing is their power run game, and it scared the crap out of the Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins team's not good. Let's just put it right there. They're in a rebuild mode. They're trying to win these games. It's going to be hard for them to win these games. They're not good. Their best player is Xavier Howard. Their second best player was Laramie Tunsil, and he's not there anymore. Yeah. So it's not going to look good always. First play of the game, it's unbalanced line to the right, okay? It's Mark Ingram, 49-yard gain. First play of the game. Right? And you're like, oh my gosh. I mean, all they talked about was their run game and how awesome it's going to be, and the Dolphins knew about it, and they got gashed for 49 freaking yards on the first play of the game.
Yeah.
Okay? The next drive, maybe the second or third play of the drive, it's a fake RPO, and now I thought there was no free safety. When I watched on TV, I was like, are they playing in this defense with no free safeties? Like, are they kidding me? Right? That was what I even said it on the Monday show. I was like, I don't think there was a free safety in some of these plays we saw. Well, I was wrong, and this is why the film's awesome. There was free safeties, but the free safety, and this is not on him, was told to be extra aggressive. So the first touchdown pass you saw to Hollywood Brown, which was the slant on the left side, it was an RPO. And Lamar Jackson got the ball. He read the defense. He saw the linebackers flying with the run fake. He probably saw the safety flying downhill to stop it as well, because I'm sure Brian Flores said all week, we're outmatched there. Yeah. Hey, free safety, I need you down there as an extra body to help the run. Well, bam, okay, Hollywood Brown, slant, touchdown, boom. Okay, you'd think, okay, well, they might have to rethink this game plan here. Let's rethink this. No. Third drive, it's a quarter, half element here now. It's a passing situation. They're playing 3 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Okay, they double the receiver to the left to stop any single cut, out route, or comeback or anything like that. But they leave Minkah Fitzpatrick all by himself at the 25-yard line. And, we just want you to cover one of the fastest guys in college football last year. It's only 53 yards and 75 yards behind you. Yeah. No problem, no issue. So Hollywood Brown gets free access. Nobody touches him coming off the line of scrimmage. By the time Minkah Fitzpatrick starts backpedaling, looks at the quarterback, looks back, Hollywood Brown's on him. He's gone. It's over. The play's already over. A touchdown. And there was just a lot of that. But the big thing was they never adjusted the free safety play to say, slow down and just play free safety the way you're supposed to play free safety now. I mean, Lamar's hot. The passing game's hot. He's an NFL quarterback. And we need to readjust. I'm all for at first, if you want to start a game and go, I want to see Lamar Jackson beat me with the pass, that's cool. And that's what you have to do at times. You got to force it and say, let me see you beat us another way. But once they do it once or twice, you have to go, okay, they got us today. They know what they're doing. Let me go to plan B and readjust how we're going to organize this on the defense, and that never happened.
If you actually kept stats on whatever the easier day in practice is toward the end of the week where you're going against the guys who are backups and third string, the numbers wouldn't be that good against the backups if they actually kept them.
No,
I used to call Arena Football League games at NFL Network, and we had them on Friday nights.
Yeah.
And every now and then you'd catch a quarterback who had more touchdowns than interceptions, but it doesn't happen in real football.
Right.
He had more touchdowns than he had incompletions.
I know.
And then RG3 came in and played well too. So moving to the next thought about the Ravens offense, they do the one thing great. They've got a quarterback who's getting better, clearly.
Getting better, definitely.
And has a different skill set than a number of the other quarterbacks.
Right.
What will the good defense do differently against Baltimore based off of what they saw in week 1?
Yeah, okay. I'm glad. This is a good question. Now, Baltimore, I mean, we know their O-line's hulking, huge, overpowering unit. Hey, if Hollywood Brown can look like that, that's going to stress some defenses out. I mean, the defensive coordinators they're going to go sleepless when they play Baltimore now when they see that, because they're going to go, damn, not only have to worry about this run game, but leaving my corner one-on-one with that damn Hollywood Brown is scary.
Right.
They're not going to like that. They have a nice little formula. It doesn't need to be complicated. I mean, Miles Boykin, a receiver, Willie Snead, the other one, and then they have 3 good tight ends they can play smash mouth or spread it out. But this is what I would do. First off, when you play man-to-man like that, and I said this a little with Mitchell Trubisky and the Green Bay Packers because it happened a few times. When you play man-to-man, it's a get-out-of-jail-free card for the quarterback at times. People think, oh, we're going to make it tough on them to get completions. No, you're really making it easy on them. There's nothing to read, right? Oh, I'm blitzed. Oh, okay, well, there's a guy one-on-one. Let me throw a back shoulder or a 50-50 ball, and maybe my guy comes up with it. Maybe it's a get-out-of-jail-free card. You're no longer making the quarterback decipher coverage and then having to make pinpoint throws into tight zone coverages, right? It's, there's no safety in the middle of the field, and I get to throw a post. We just talked about it. Let me just throw it high and throw it out there, and my great athlete will get it. Oh, it's man-to-man coverage and I'm getting pressure. Oh, there's Miles Boykin on the outside. The DB's covering him man-to-man. His back's turned. Let me just throw a ball over there and see if my guy can adjust to me. You're really making it easier. So that is, I think, what we're going to see more and more. If I'm playing Baltimore, I'm not letting him get the get-out-of-jail-free card. I'm playing some more creative zones. I'm keeping my back guys' eyes at the line of scrimmage, too, to where they can rally and make a tackle.
Right.
That's the greatness of, the Seattle scheme a little bit, is because it was 8 guys at the line of scrimmage, but they were playing zone. So their eyes were kind of always on the quarterback. So, you want to run it? We're going to all converge on the run. Oh, you want to throw a short pass? Oh, you can throw the short pass. You might get 4 yards, but we are going to tackle you as soon as you catch it at 4 yards. I would do more of that stuff on Lamar Jackson.
It's actually some
confusion. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Confusion. Make them read it.
Confusion before the snap.
Right. Make them read it. Make some pinpoint throws. Not just let me throw a ball up into a spot and my guy will get it.
That's a great point, because the aggressive man works when they get after the quarterback and get to him with the blitz. If you don't get to him right away,
you're in deep crap.
You summed it up very well.
Right.
There's no deciphering what's going on back there. You hope you have an extra second, and then you hope you throw an accurate ball, but you're not back there really reading a coverage and making a tough decision.
No, right.
Just showing courage by standing in and hopefully throwing a good ball.
That's why I want to say, with the Sam Darnold and Dad, when we went back there, because Dad's like, Sam Darnold's feet are all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he's having a little pressure, and the Bills are playing these, we never got to really talk about. What was the damn phrase I used? It was simplicity.
Game plan specific simplicity.
Game plan specific, because we all know what cover 4 is, right? Corner, 2 safeties, all have they have a quarter of the field from where they are and back. But what they do is they game plan their quarters on every week. So in training camp, hey, this is quarters coverage, this is quarters coverage, this is quarters coverage. Okay, now we're playing the Jets. And this week, we got quarters coverage down. I still want to run quarters, but we're going to run this week's version of quarters. There's going to be a rule tweaked here or there by a guy just according to what a team does on the game plan-wise on the other side of the ball. That's what I meant by my game plan simplicity that I can't say. You know what I'm saying, whatever.
Backing up to the Ravens and the Dolphins, the 49-point win.
Right.
Before we move on from that one, the only wrong answer here is both. You can't say both.
Okay.
You got to pick one.
Yeah.
So that ass kicking was more because of the Baltimore offense or the Miami defense?
Man, that's a good one because I do want to say both. You're right. I'm going to say it's more. I'm going to say more because of the Miami defense. Okay. I am. As much as I really liked that but yes, were completely outmanned, and they had issues because they know they're not that good up front on the defensive side of the ball, to where they had to do things they didn't want to do with the rest of their defense because there was an area where they knew they were way outmatched. So they had to put more eggs into that one basket to stop it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Final game, and that's nice. Nice of you to pick one.
Thank you.
Instead of going all of the above.
No problemo.
Seahawks, Bengals. Backing up here a little bit, I was always a guy who stuck up for Andy Dalton a little more than most. I'm like, he's not terrible.
Right.
He's a decent quarterback.
Yes.
Get it right. If you want to say he's never gone to the top 8 to 10 quarterbacks in the league, fine.
Sure.
But he doesn't suck. He's been a decent quarterback for a long time.
Right.
I thought from what I saw, and then looking back at the numbers, I thought he took it next level against Seattle, almost winning in a tough environment against a great defense. I know you watched the film. Am I on to something there with thinking Andy looked a little better with Zac Taylor?
No doubt. I mean, he played really well. There's no question about that. Made a number of big throws. I mean, in a really tough environment.
Think about it. That's not something you say about Andy Dalton very often.
No,
it's not. Made a number of big throws.
Now, if I want to go negative a little bit, I'll go, damn, we threw for 418 yards and we only scored 20 points. And, if Patrick Mahomes threw for 418 yards, they would have scored 38 points or 40 points because a few of those throws would have been howitzers for touchdowns. And that's where a great quarterback comes into play sometimes. Andy Dalton's the man between the 20s, but it's the special guys who can make a special throw or a special play in the red zone to capitalize on that.
What does he not do down there, you think?
He's he doesn't have a special arm, and he's not a special athlete for this day and age. He's a good arm and a good athlete, but not special that way to where, it's the red zone and everything has to happen a little quicker. The zone coverages and the holes are a little tighter. You got to be able to throw the 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Right. He only got 94.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's good. And again, you can win with Andy Dalton, but he just might not overcome everything on a weekly basis. There was a play, in this game where they're down there driving, and it's 20-14, I believe, at the time. And they get down there, and they're going to throw a screen pass, and he whiffed. And the ball fell out of his hand. They intercepted it. So there was that. There was a missed field goal would hurt them. They had a 1st and goal at the 4 where they ended up having to kick a field goal. Again, not to bag on Andy Dalton, but that doesn't happen to Russell Wilson.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he gets in those little opportunities, they score.
Yeah.
And then when when Aaron Rodgers gets to the 4, they're going to score. Yeah. And same with Tom Brady. And so again, I know not everybody's them, but I'm just trying to give some context. And either way, he played really well.
How did Zac Taylor make him look better?
Every Seattle beater in the history of mankind came out in this game. And, maybe one day and we'll get up here on the whiteboard or something like that, and I'll draw some of these plays up. But this is one of the things I brought up to Mike last week on PFT. I said, I totally thought the Seahawks would win. I thought they would win by more than 21-20, definitely. But I did tell him, I'm a little scared for this aspect. Cincinnati's a little more talented than we're giving them credit for. And Zac Taylor has great familiarity with the Seattle Seahawks.
Right.
He got to play them twice a year the last 2 years with the Rams. So he knows the kind of plays that stress their rules out on their defense.
What's a Seattle beater?
Well, a Seattle beater, a lot of the times, for a lack of a better phrase, the second man through in the middle of the defense, right? So let's just say, for all those out there, we're in a 3-by-1 formation. You got 3 receivers to the right, and you have 1 receiver to the left. Let's say out of those 3 receivers to the right, the first run runs a deep cross, right, down the middle of the field. Well, they play that 3-deep match zone. What happens is when the guys come into their area, they have to match them man-to-man until they get in a certain part of the area, and then they pass them off to the next guy, right? So here's Bobby Wagner. Oh, gosh, Tyler Eifert's running at me in a deep cross, right? And he's running it. I got to take him for a little bit as he crosses out. I can't just go, oh, I'm in zone, and I'm just going to let him, like, run by me, and like, we're going to let him catch the ball because I'm in zone. Mm-hmm. No, that's not the way zone works in the NFL anymore. It's mostly match zones. So when he gets there, now he's taking the guy, and it's almost like man-to-man for a few steps where he's not going to just let him go free access. But within that, you send another guy right behind it. Mm-hmm. And now there's nobody there, right? Because the guy who's got that other guy at the first part of his route who's running the little lesser cross route, the second crosser, the second man through is why I say that, he is going, oh, wait, this guy's leaving my area. I'm going to let him go and pass him to Bobby Wagner. But he doesn't realize, no, Bobby Wagner's got his own issues right now. He can't pass him off. But that's the way the defense is. So that's a Seattle beater. Two receivers to the left, right? Let's do another Seattle beater. Two receivers to your left, okay? The outside receiver runs like a real skinny post right along the inside edge of the corner, right?
All right.
The inside edge of the shoulder of the corner. It's a zone defense, let's not forget, but it's a match zone. So now here's the corner. He sees this guy running at me. Okay, I'm supposed to run with him, but he's starting to run to the post. At some point, you're not supposed to run with him. The safety's there for that. You're supposed to stay in your third, hence cover 3. Well, it's hard in a match zone. So he follows the guy a little inside, and what do? With the slot receiver, he runs a little out route. So in his eye, that corner still sees nothing coming back to his third to attack him. So he goes, let me follow this guy inside. But the slot receiver goes an out route and then runs up, and now, whoa, nobody's there. Right. And the linebacker's who's covering him in that part of the zone, once he goes up, he's going, oh, my corner's back there. I don't need to follow him up the sidelines. And bam. And that's when you see John Ross catch a long ball down the left sideline for a touchdown. So he had a lot of those type of things that I've seen from whether it was Peyton Manning and the Broncos, Kyle Shanahan with the Falcons or the 49ers, and things he's done to that Seattle defense, and, of course, things that McVay's done to them. Those are Seattle beaters. And they expose that coverage, which is all over the NFL right now. And this is why I keep saying to these defenses, a la Andy Reid in Jacksonville runs the Seattle defense. They're from Seattle. And there's an inventory of plays in the NFL right now because so many people run the scheme where they go, here's our Seattle beaters. And New England's played them in the Super Bowl. And New England played the Chargers in the playoffs divisional round last year. What defense does Seattle run? The Chargers run Seattle defense. Gus Bradley's the D coordinator. And why do they shred them apart? Because they've seen it. They have all the beaters. That's an issue with the Seattle scheme, and that's why we call them Seattle beaters.
New term today.
Seattle beaters. Second man through.
I'm going to use that at home.
Second man through. The old second man through.
See if my fifth grade flag football team can incorporate some Seattle beaters.
But it was encouraging, and all I can say with Seattle is, Ezekiel Anza, not 100% yet. L.J. Collier, I don't even know if he played. Jaron Reed, when that defense and then Jadeveon Clowney gets a few games on it, watch out. Yeah. That front seven can change some games around.
All right, a new segment here. That was Film Deep Dive. We'll do it every Wednesday.
Film Deep Dive,
Multiple
and I got
times.
another read. I know I got the PFT-PM read.
You go with the read.
Because my man, Micah Florio, he's Italian and he's down in West Virginia. But PFT-PM, new episodes Tuesday, okay? He had Jamal Adams and his power rankings, okay? So always go on and check out his power rankings. At the very least, do it for me and get on there and crap all over his power rankings and tell him he's wrong. He'll get really flustered, and I always enjoy El Florio flustered, okay? But he does have a great interview with Jamal Adams, who's one of the best safeties in football. And Florio and I, of course, we always discuss the Antonio Brown situation, the latest on all of that, the legality, the CBA, the NFL following all of it. That's where Mike Florio is absolutely the freaking man. He will be all over that subject, not only from the NFL side with the legal process, but from Antonio Brown's side. And he's going to always do a deep dive in that. That's worth the PFT PM with the Mike Florio.
All right, this next segment is rapid fire.
Okay.
It's a rapid fire segment, I've been told.
Yep.
A couple of different times.
That means this podcast is going too long. Hurry the freak up.
That's right. And it's called Make Me Feel Better About My Team.
Okay. Don't ask me about the Dolphins, because there's nothing I can say to make you feel better, okay? Let's ask that right now.
Not one thing.
Not one damn thing. You're screwed.
Think hard.
You're screwed.
Think hard.
Maybe start Josh Rosen? I don't know.
Okay. That's on the positive
Was that
side.
one of them? That was going to be one of them?
Of course it was. Of course it was.
I had a few friends of mine text me to the dot, like, make me feel better on Monday morning, and I was like, there's nothing. You're
Talking
screwed.
up the legs. No.
See you next year. Justin Herbert.
All right, Bears.
Okay, Bears. This is how I'll make you feel comfortable. The team is still really talented. And let's not forget, the defense is real. It was 10 points, that Green Bay scored. That Packers defense is going to be a top 10 defense in football, if not a top 5.
Not better, yeah.
It's super talented. It's really well coached. And your team, your offense didn't play in the preseason. And I just don't care who you are. If you're Peyton Manning, Bart Starr, Joe Namath, if you don't play in the preseason, you're not going to come out hitting on all cylinders. So that's what I would say to Bears fans. Things will get right on the offensive side of the ball. My one issue with the Bears is, though, like we talked about today, they need to find something that, what are we hanging our hat on? What's the identity of that?
Offensively?
They do everything good and they do everything under the sun on the offense, but there's not one thing I go, ooh, they do this really good. And if a defense doesn't stop that, they're screwed. They don't have that one thing, and I think they need to find that little identity.
Looking forward to talking more about the Bears later. I got a lot of questions after watching.
Yeah, definitely. It was ugly.
Do it down the road.
Yep.
Buccaneers.
Well,
we get to see him soon.
We do. We're going to see him tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Thursday Night Football. Denver's Cam Newton.
I'm filibustering.
Defense, no, it's okay. Defense is encouraging.
Yeah.
Okay. They got some young talent in their secondary. Vernon Hargraves looked good. Okay. Their defensive front is a pretty stout group. I mean, hey, I think a lot of like the 49ers offensive line and their run game, they had a hard time running the ball.
Okay.
It wasn't easy. And it can't get any worse for Jameis, okay?
I was waiting for you to include him in the positivity.
I root for Jameis. I root for the Bucs. Come on, they drafted me. They're a special team to me still. I really do. And I just was heartbroken by some of that. I couldn't believe Jameis made some of those decisions in that game. I just was absolutely shocked.
Jets.
Okay, Jets. You played one of the best defenses in football and one of the best game planners in all of football. And just how we talk with like Andy Reid, first game of the year off our bye week, man, Sean McDermott would be one of those defensive coaches where I'd be like, I don't want to play him week 1 because he is going to be all over you from that aspect. So that's one thing to look at. The Buffalo defense was top 3 in football last year. They were special. So offense will continue to look better. There is that. And come on, Greg Williams and that defense caused chaos all game long. I mean, the offense should have put the game away a long time before that. And I know, they came back and made some plays, but created 4 turnovers and, scored 8 points. So there's a lot of things to like about the defensive performance of the New York Jets.
They are the leaders in the clubhouse for making me feel better about my team.
Good.
We'll see if you can top the Jets.
Gotcha.
Broncos.
Okay. Broncos, my big thing here would be, the pass offense was underwhelming in the game. I got to think there's a little more creativity. I didn't get to watch this film, so it's hard to tell what the hell is going on the defensive side of the ball. I'll say this much. I don't know where the pass offense goes, okay? I know I like Cortland Sutton a lot. I know the offensive line play will get better. Why, you might say? Not because of the offensive lineman itself, because of Mike Menchek. One of the best offensive linemen I've ever been around as far as coaching goes. He will get them right. And then it's still early in that Vic Fangio defense, too. John Gruden, they had the proper game plan. They stayed patient with the run. They threw a lot of quick footballs. Really got the biggest pass play of the game off a 3rd and 1 where they faked a run. He threw a bomb down the middle. Again, I think this is a team still kind of getting their feet underneath them right now as far as the Denver Broncos are concerned.
That was moderately
pretty
good.
Yeah, okay.
Falcons.
Falcons are still a lot of talent on that team. That's what I would like to say. And going into Minnesota and playing a guy like Mike Zimmer week 1 is not easy. Now, you heard me. I got the questions about the offensive line, pass protecting.
Right.
That's going to be an issue. But Matt Ryan.
And the running back.
And the running back, I do. Whether he can capitalize on some of the holes that are there to be had. But I can promise you Matt Ryan won't throw the dumb interceptions he threw on a consistent basis as the season goes on. I mean, he's going to make plays. They still got Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones and Mohamed Sanu. So that's dangerous from the pass game standpoint. And, their defense didn't even really get to play to their strength. their defense is used to, okay, we're in an even game, or we're winning because of Matt Ryan, and now we can use our speed and rush the passer and fly all around the field because you have to throw it a little more than you would like because our offense is high flying. That game never got off the ground to where they were like, oh gosh, we got to stop the run game from like square one, and that's the only thing they got to worry about. So there's still a lot of talent on that Falcons team for me to give up on them yet.
Last one.
Yeah.
Jaguars.
I'm going to talk you off the ledge. This defense is still as talented as there is in football. The only thing I'm pissed off about with the Jaguars is like what my dad said, that they lost their cool like that, like Miles Jack. I'm just disappointed in him because he's really one of my favorite players to watch in football. He's phenomenal middle linebacker. And but they're still, again, they went against Andy Reid, the ultimate game planner, the ultimate week one. I mean, let's not forget, he shit all over New England and Bill Belichick 2 years ago in opening week 2. He shit all over the Chargers to start last season in week 1, too. And this is not your, okay, so now you have a guy that's great schematics, but out of this world talent to go along with the schematics with Mahomes, Watkins, Kelly, Tyreek Hill, all that good offensive line. They're not going to see an offense better than that this year for the rest of the way. And Gardner Minshew looked good.
I know.
He looked good.
I know.
They can.
A pleasant surprise.
He's not Nick Foles, but I think they have enough help around him. As long as they're not playing the Kansas City Chiefs again this week, that they can stay close with any team. If they kind of play through their run game, their defense gets back on track. I'm not giving up on Jacksonville. I thought I was. And then I watched the film and I went, okay, this kid's going to be okay. Right. He's going to be okay. I would not be shocked. I haven't picked it yet, but I would not be shocked if they went into Houston and beat them this week.
I've added one, so maybe I lied a little bit.
Somebody's in your ear.
Or that.
Some homer in the control room. Tell us about my team.
Make me feel good about my team if my team is the Browns.
Okay. The Browns, Baker Mayfield, that was about as poor as I've ever seen him throw the football. That won't happen again. Another team that got shotgun happy, along with the Buffalo Bills. I didn't get to talk about that. They're another team. I mean, they just were like, well, we let go of LaShawn McCoy. We're not going to run the ball anymore. That's what it looked like. I was like, damn. All we talked about was Josh Allen growing as a player. We're going to put the whole organization in his hands, the whole game, shotgun, call every play. But back to my point, the Browns, still a ton of talent, okay? Still, I don't think Baker Mayfield will ever play that bad again as far as just missing throws and some of the dumb decisions. They played a team that's New England-ish in their approach on defense. They built their secondary and then went down from there, like Dad said. I mean, it's Logan Ryan, it's Malcolm Butler, it's Adoree Jackson. Those are, second-round pick, 2 first-round picks, or a free agent who's awesome, who's a big-time free agent. Kevin Byard in the back end. He's one of the best safeties in football. And then you got Dean Pease and Mike Vrabel to run Baltimore, New England coverages. Right. That'll be about as hard a pass defense as they'll see all year long. And don't forget, Cleveland, it was 15-13 with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. You said it already. That game was misleading.
Right.
It was a little closer than that. The wheels fell off because Baker just kind of lost his way for really one of the first times we've ever seen in his career at the start of that fourth quarter and threw 3 straight interceptions, and that's just how it became a blowout. Right. Which one would you like the best for your I know you. Which one did you say was the leader in the clubhouse so far? The Bears or?
I think it was the Jets right away.
Oh, yeah, the Jets right away.
I put them at 1 in terms of make me feel good about my team who lost. I'll put the Browns at 2 because, your lead statement, that's the worst their quarterback is going to play all year.
Yeah, right.
That's a great place to start if you're trying to feel good about a team that lost.
Don't get pass happy. They can run block there too, and Nick Chubb is good.
Right?
Right. He's really good.
See if any of these teams listen to you and get underneath the center. I'm going to keep an eye on this.
I usually hear at some point during the year. The worst part about my job, and at least I have some people here at NBC who will vouch for me.
Yeah.
Because I do have coaches that come up to me every now and then and go, I heard what you said about our team. And this is not for print.
Yeah.
Or this is between us.
Yeah.
But I heard what you said and you were right. And when I heard you say that, I changed or I thought about it. And I've had my man Matt Casey in the back who's heard a few coaches come up to me and say that. So I can never share it.
Of course not.
But it's some of the greatest moments of my professional career when I do hear that.
Right?
Go,
feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, like, damn, somebody's listening to me and they admitted I was right.
And they respect your opinion.
Yeah, so that's always good to hear.
makes all the negative stuff that comes your way.
All right, we're done. I'm done talking. I'm tired. I can't talk anymore, okay? Paul and his cool sneakers are done for the day. My cool sneakers, my KDs. Right? I got my KDs on today. I can wear my KDs again because he's no longer on Golden State.
What size are those?
At 14s, but they look smaller, right? And, again, you know where to find the podcast. You know where to find me on Twitter. And rate, review. Do you pee standing up or sitting down at home?
Be honest.
Let's get this. Let's get this clear.
It's going to be like 95%.
Donald McDonald, what do you do at home? You said you sit down at times when he's tired. He likes to sit down.
He just said.
If it's a clean toilet, I'm sitting down. I'm just telling you, it makes sense. All right. I'm done. Paulie, you the man. See you next week. Peace out, homies. We're done. We're out. Chris Sims Unbuttoned. See you Thursday. And we're gonna pick some games.